What up, YouTube? Interesting topic today is I think nice guys. Are have the most enemies of any group of people on this planet. And if you're a nice black guy, I think you're public enemy number one. You might be wondering, why do I think that? And then in some cases, some of you guys who actually are nice guys, you probably kind of had that kind of inclination already. And I'm just here to tell you that you're not alone. As far as nice guys in general, I think nice guys are hated by just about everybody. Nice guys are really right now the bad boys of groups of people, and not for doing bad things. The reason why nice guys are the new bad boys is because nice guys actually play by the rules, and it's not cool to play by the rules. Not to mention, nice guys actually break a lot of stereotypes. Case in point, feminism. The nice guy narrative does not fit with feminists. And the reason being is because feminists believe all men are bad. All men are criminals. All men beat women and steal from women, abuse women, emotionally abuse women, financially abuse women, you name it. That's what feminists believe. And so to me, that's the biggest hate group that preaches inclusion and diversity. But they're the ones that speak the loudest about getting rid of all men and, advocating for deleting kids and stuff. And then the next group is the LGBTQ plus community, and they seem to hate women and every other group of people that is not them as well. And so they'll go attack a Christian bakery because that bakery doesn't believe the same way they do, or they'll attack anybody who don't just flat out accept them and bow down to them. But at the same time, they're not willing to bow down and accept somebody else's faith or beliefs or whatever. So that's ironic. But the nice guy, going back to the feminists, he basically proves feminists wrong. And I believe that feminists aren't really the nicest people on the planet, for the most part. Well, the only group inside the feminist organization are probably the people who actually have a true, honest, I won't even say them either, because the way feminism is set up is modern feminism, at least, is really to try to get rid of men, or to decenter men, destabilize men, and control men. And a lot of feminists don't even believe men are even needed, so that should tell you something right there. They don't even value all life on the planet if they don't value men. So that just tells you how much of a hate group they are. And to add insult to injury, nowadays they'll even attack nice guys, and I think they're confusing some nice guys with players. Because you do have players that play nice, like they're nice guys, but they're not nice guys, they're called players. They play the role of a nice guy to get in with a woman, get what he wants, and then he rolls out. But, like every other thing with some immature women, is they only see one thing, and they don't listen to men. And so we could tell them all day till we're blue in the face. And then you have women, other mature women that have been raised, traditionally, and raised with a father in the home. They can also tell them, the types of men to look out for. And even, ironically, feminists even are against marriage. And marriage is the thing that protects them from the guys that actually don't want to do right. So they're kicking themselves in the face all the time. Not to mention, the only people that are probably really marrying right now are going to be the nice guys. But we already know there's about a 70% divorce rate. And a lot of these women, they don't really care about the man, and they'll make up reasons to divorce the man. So now you got these regular women who want to be superstars, divorce their husbands that actually love them, and then to get more money out of them, they'll actually go out there and make up stuff. Oh, he financially abused me, he emotionally abused me, he did whatever, you know what I mean, to get more money or sympathy out of the court system so that they could take more away from that man, even though that man hadn't did anything wrong. But since we have the unfair standard of believe all women, which, by the way, is not really legal. You can't just believe. I mean, you're supposed to. Court should be based on evidence, and right now, women don't even have to have evidence to put a man in jail. All right, women don't even have to have evidence to put a man on child support. Women don't even have to have evidence to put a man on alimony and divorce him. So right now you got a biased legal system, and it's usually going to be against the nice guy, not against the player, because the player is playing. He's not going to marry a woman. What for? And if he does marry a woman, that woman has got to be so in love with him and so have so much low value that she lets him do what he wants. And that's the same thing for a bad boy as well. But the good guy, the nice guy, he basically is hated because he disproves feminism. He shows that there's men out there that actually care about their families, take care of their families, take care of their women, love their women. But feminism is so brainwashy that women, they'll take a nice guy and turn him bad. All right? And how they do that is because they have so much disbelief that there's such thing as a nice guy that they'll keep poking at him. Poke at him, poke at him, poke at him. No, they won't poke at him for like a month and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe he is a cool person. They'll poke at him for years. And then they won't poke at him just with the finger, the attitude. They'll poke at him by stepping out on the relationship. And then, all of a sudden, this nice guy, he's blown up. He's got angry, potentially put himself in jail, said something he wouldn't normally would have said. But it's not because that was just his known personality. It's because that woman is so brainwashed by feminists and other women that she refuses to believe that she has a good man. And more than likely, the person who she's talking to is a feminist who ain't got a man, who ain't never been with a man, ain't never had a father, ain't never had a good relationship with a man. She's already been in a bad situation. And because she's been in a bad situation and had all that bad stuff going on, she's just going to repeat that over and over and over and over again, because that's the only thing she's seen. And even if she's seen something good, she can't help but to repeat what she's seen and make it that way, because she's just broken, a broken record. And so next group you got is we'll say the nice black guy. And the reason why I think the nice black guy is public enemy number one is because he ain't been in jail, for one. Number two, he is still has his ability to vote. All right. Number three, the nice black guy has money, and he can do what he want to do. He probably has goals. He can actually go out and do things a lot of these other brothers may not necessarily be able to do. And so he has the ability to influence and change a woman's situation, financial situation. He can actually change her life. But the problem is she is so hung up on what a black man's supposed to supposed to be. She's hung up on the stereotype that she can't love the man for who he is because he don't meet the stereotype. He got to be gangster. You know what I'm saying? He got to be a thug. He got to be a bad boy. He got to be all these different things instead of what he is, you know? And sometimes that's just built on a situation. You got brothers who are put in a situation where they have to be thugs and bad boys and whatever like that. Sometimes they're raised like that. But then you have guys who are not. So you got these sisters that don't even understand what a good man is. And even if you're a good man to look at her in the face, taking care of her for 20 years, she will still think he is not worth her time. Even though she's been taken care of and everything. She'd rather go out there and be in the street. No, take that back. Her heart is in the street while her body is with that particular man is taking care of. And it's just a travesty. You might as well, avoid those type of women because they'll never be your friend, they'll never be your wife, never be your lover. So, and then you have other black men. And the reason why I think other black men are the enemies of nice guys is because some of these guys used to be nice guys and they got done wrong. Some of them have been so hurt by being in that situation that they saw themselves as being weak because either just them by their own perception or because of other men who supposedly better men, you know what I mean? And these supposedly better men are good guys, you know what I mean? Or players, thugs, all this other junk. They're supposed to be the men. However, there's a less likelihood they're going to marry a woman. But they're supposed to be the men, right? They're supposed to be the strong men. Now, ironically, these guys should be able to lead any woman, right? Because they're masculine. They're so masculine, they can stand up and they can do all this stuff because they got hair in their chest. You know what I mean? They keep their frame, right? Yet, these same guys won't marry a single mother, right? These same guys won't necessarily marry a woman. And some of these same guys will sit up here and make a woman a baby mom and then leave her. They'll make multiple women baby moms and leave them, but they're supposed to be masculine, more masculine than the nice guy. They're the man. Now they're the ones who are the protectors, but they're also the first ones to lead the family. But they're more masculine. So you got these guys who don't like the nice guy. They don't think you should be nice. They don't think you should be Christian and actually do, follow the Bible. And so they consider nice guys as weak. So they're enemies. And not to mention, some of them people will actually try to take advantage of a nice guy like a female will. They'll try to steal from that man. They'll try his patience. They'll try to intimidate him. All right? And take stuff from him because they're weak. If you got to take something from a nice guy who's supposedly weaker than you, doesn't that make you weaker than a nice guy? Just saying. Who else we got? You might even have other races who look at a nice guy, and the nice guy becomes their enemy because of the perception of the other guys, the bad boys, the thugs, and everybody else who leaves. So you have other races and other women, other men who hate the nice guy because they just don't have a very good perception of black people in general. And so whenever they see a nice guy, they're like, well, he must be just like the other black guy. Mess around with females, making baby mamas, leaving, not taking care of their families, stuff like that. And so I will even add in the government. And this could be more conspiracy theory or whatever. But the reason why I even say that is because it seems like anytime you have a black man in power, like somebody real big in power, like Bill Cosby, I guess Diddy now, you got Michael Jackson, you got Prince. And I'm sure there's other black moguls as well who've been pretty high up in power and money and influence. But they're only allowed to get to a certain place before it seems like either the powers that be or somebody in that industry that they're in decides to try to take them out. And it could be, physically taking them out, or they can actually destroy their reputation, or they can find something on them to cause them to destroy their own reputation. And so they do that, and then they can use the legal system, to try to destroy them as well. And the legal system, I'll say, in the way the legal system is used, and the nice guy is the public enemy, and I guess this is kind of getting the more black guy, is that they'll take a man, an innocent man, based off the testimony of somebody else, and it don't matter if that dude has got witnesses that show he was somewhere else. He could have proof that he's somewhere else, but because somebody else that they may deem more reputable says they were the one guilty party, they put an innocent black man in prison. And we've seen a few different innocent black men go to prison because of false testimony, whether it be a female or whatever else. So that person's influence, their life, their direction can be basically derailed because of a false accusation or being abused by the legal system, whether it be by an ex-wife, a girlfriend, it could be a co-worker or anybody. But I think nice guys are the most enemies, and those are the things I can think of at this point in time. But as a nice guy, I think you are, in a lot of cases, an enemy to people. You're considered weak, which I don't think is true. Now, I think we may sometimes have some naivety about people, because even Jesus was betrayed by one of the people he picked to be with him. And one of the things I think nice guys got to be aware of is not everybody around you is your friend. And sometimes the person that is your friend is really your enemy, and you got to be able to find out that they're enemy before they're able to actually do something to you. And so, as nice guys, I believe we have enemies. And we have to be careful who these enemies are, because they could be women, they could be men, and sometimes they can even be family. So, be careful, keep your head up. And even if you are getting beat down, just know that right at this point in time in the world, it's normal. It's normal to be attacked by different groups of people in society because you are strong. People are always going to try to take money away from you because you are strong. People are always going to try to lean on you because you're strong. People are going to try to take advantage of you because you're strong. And just understand that you have to remain strong, remain vigilant to stay strong. All right, that's whether you be trusting God, make sure you pay attention to your friends, because you do have good people out there that will help you out. And sometimes you got to just trust your own instinct. If you feel somebody is not for you, sometimes you got to part ways or figure out why they're not for you and part ways. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you think. But I think nice guys right now in this day and time are public enemy number one. Take care. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Agree, disagree, Whatever. Put it in the comments.